Welcome back, Raider Nation and my champions. This is Eric, and we are live both on YouTube and TikTok. You can see right here. Had some audiovisual issues coming up. I'm on my headset right now. My mic was going kind of nuts on me. I couldn't fix it. Some other things happened too, a little weirdness. So regardless of that, we are live. How you guys doing out there? I want to say hello to you. I see Sandy B. I see Earth Daughter in YouTube. I see a few in our TikTok group as well. How are you guys doing? Why don't you guys tell me where you guys are from? And I'm right here now, right now in SoCal, Southern California. The time is 6:02 p.m. Appreciate you guys coming out here, but we are here tonight to talk about the Raider MiniCamp. Some thoughts, some rumors, some opinions, some actual fact. We're also going to talk about the Hunter Renfrow contract extension that just happened. We want to talk about that. Hey, Dominique 5, I see you in here as well. Thank you for coming on. And as we normally do, I'm going to switch this over right now. We're going to get into our live stream. And as we normally do, this is what we do. We do what we call the rundown here. So these are the topics that we're going to be talking about tonight. Of course, we start with our new champions, our new subs, our new followers on TikTok. I appreciate every single one of you, old school and new school. The poll of the week, we're going to talk about some news and the extension. And then we're going to end it with you guys, question and answer segment, which I think is the best part of the whole segment. I can bounce off you. I want to get your opinions on the topic that we discuss out here and see what you guys are talking about as well. So it's a little weird. Something was happening on the TikTok thing, so I'm not sure what was going on there, but okay. We'll just move on. The show must go on, you know, live TV and all that.
I hear everyone say it. Take what they give you. We're going to take what we want.
Now, as far as new champions goes, on the YouTube side, we've been holding steady here for a little while. We'll get into that in a minute. Let me know how the microphone is. Again, I've been having issues with both my mic. It looks like this is a little bit too high. I turned it down just a little bit. This should be okay. If it isn't, let me know in the chat on either platform. I'd appreciate that. It shouldn't affect TikTok, obviously, because it's on my tablet, but it should be. There might be something going on with YouTube. Let me know. If not, that's fine. As far as the TikTok followers goes, we got about 60 new followers since our last live stream last week. Pretty much going gangbusters. I appreciate each and every one of you coming on board. And it's not just, you know, trying to get followers. There's a lot of Raider fans out there. They're watching the videos. They're watching the shorts that I put out there on TikTok. I will be putting out where I'm at social media at the end when we go to Q&A if you want to check those out as well. Hey, Earth Daughter. Well, yeah, the TikTok should be just fine because I'm just talking straight to the tablet and we're simulcasting here. Unfortunately, I have to do it this way because TikTok does not interface with OBS like YouTube does. Otherwise, I just do it straight through there. Wouldn't be a problem. All right, so we'll get into the champions and the follow-ups and the channel in a little bit. I first want to get into the next subject. And that, of course, is our poll of the week. I put a poll out every week before our live streams. And this one is, the mandatory minicamp starts today. What are you most looking forward to? And I put some things here like the offense, defense, the front office, about free agency. We talked about that last week. We'll get into that a little bit as far as the salary cap and what's going on and what I think we should do. Most of you wanted to see how the defense shakes out. It's going to be very interesting. We'll talk a little bit about minicamp. Again, it's a little early on, but there are some indications here and there about certain players. We'll get into that in a minute. let's see. Speaking of which, how you guys doing? I see a few of you in TikTok. How are you guys doing out there? Let me know where you guys are coming from. I'm from Southern California. Never get these. I'd rather listen. No worries. I'd rather listen. Yes, Sandy B. No, that's fine. You can stay on either platform. I'm on both. I'm just saying my microphone equipment on the YouTube side might been having a little issues with it, so I just wanted to be sure. So this is our ticker. If you're not familiar with it, this will show you basically our subject matter, also where you can find us on TikTok and YouTube and all that. So let's get right into this. Now, exactly, we want to talk about the Hunter Renfrow extension here, grabbing the pile of money, and of course what happened in MiniCamp. 25 minutes from Chicago. Diane says Oregon. You're in my time zone, Diane. Sandy, you're a couple hours off. I appreciate you coming in. So let's talk first about the Hunter Renfrow extension. Of course, third in Renfrow. Our guy here in the slot. PFF ranked him 17th. Last year, 78. The contract is for 2 years, $32 million. Right now, we don't have a whole lot of details involved, other than there's 16 million or 21 million rather guaranteed, and he's getting a signing bonus of 9 million. I'm not sure how that's going to hit the cap right now. They haven't updated that. This is where he was before the contract extension. We'll get into that in a minute because it's going to affect some of the other signings and maybe extensions. We'll get into that in just a minute, but I want to talk a little bit about Hunter Renfrow. Of course, he's our slot machine. I've said he's probably the best slot wide receiver, not named Cooper Kupp, and it showed. I mean, he had 103 receptions, over 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns last season. Unbelievable breakout year for this guy. He deserved to get the extension, and he made his first Pro Bowl. Same thing with Max Crosby. He was there. We showed that. And then I move the chains. He had 51 first downs last season. Unbelievable. Well done with him. And of course, with him being here, this is part of our three-headed monster with Devontae Adams and of course Darren Waller. It's going to be this offense is going to be unstoppable as long as Derek Carr has the time to throw the ball. And of course, don't worry and don't forget about our running game as well. Hey, Raider Wolf, I see you out there. So I'm going to give this one an A as far as a grade. Of course, this guy is one of our studs. He was our third guy that we needed to extend. We extended Max Crosby, we extended Derek Carr previously. So we've got our house in order as far as that goes, but we're going to talk a little bit. There's a couple more loose ends. We'll talk about that right now. And number one is Darren Waller. We'll talk about him. I know he's under contract for 2 more years. There's speculation about getting him extended now that Renfrow is in there. And then also Denzel Perryman. He's in the last year of his contract with us. And I'm going to go over the numbers just in a moment for both of these and what I think it'll take as far as the salary cap numbers and if it is feasible to be able to extend both of these guys. Now, as far as MiniCamp goes, now this was a 3-day mandatory MiniCamp. They had OTAs, that's organized team activities, a few weeks back. Those were optional. Not everybody showed up. But as far as the MiniCamp goes, everybody showed up. Not everybody kind of suited out. Now, keep in mind, they did not wear pads. There was no contact. They wore this helmets and shorts, basically. So I'm going to go over kind of like what I do during my halftime reports when I go on live. If you old schoolers are familiar with that, we're going to go over the good, the bad, and the ugly as far as the MiniCamp and where we stand with the Raiders right now. As far as the good, first thing I want to talk about is leading the way. Now you've got Derek Carr and Max Crosby here. These are our 2 leaders on both sides of the ball. They're kind of goofing around. Not only that, though, they're true leaders. And I'll say this, Josh McDaniels also exhorting the leadership of Derek Carr. He's not only a good quarterback, but he comes in early, stays late. He loves the game of football. And that's kind of players we need on this team. Same thing with Max Crosby. And the compliments from him were coming from Chandler Jones. that we are a big free agent signing on the defensive side. And basically, Chandler's saying that Max is, keeping him on his toes, getting the most out of him. So that is a very good sign, especially with a young player like Max Crosby coming in and showing that leadership by example. Now, the next one I want to talk about is here. I put Roll Tide right tackle. The majority or predominant snaps on the first team during minicamp were taken by, I'll let you guess, it was Alex Leatherwood. Kind of like what I said, I still am holding by my prediction that Alex Leatherwood will be our starting right tackle this season come the first week of the real games. I know it's a little bit early on, but all signs are indicating that, and we're going to get to that in a minute as far as the signings and who we need to sign and who we haven't signed. The next one I'm going to talk about is Zamir White. He has recently signed a 4-year, $4.4 million deal with a about $700,000 signing bonus. He's going to be about $900,000 against the cap this year, as expected. We only have one draftee that has not signed yet. That's Neil Farrell Jr. So my prediction of signing those last two draft picks at about $1.5 million to $2 million total against the cap is kind of working itself out. Now that goes, and I wanted to mention this as far as one more leader. Obviously, it's Devontae Adams, the big signing we had, especially on the offensive side. A couple things he was saying he's having the time of his life. He mentioned that Green Bay actually offered him more money and he decided to come to the Raiders anyway. And then this little quote I found by PFF, it says, as far as talent and ability, it's really similar. If I'm keeping it real, they asked him about comparisons of Derek Carr to Aaron Rodgers. Now, this isn't the first time we've heard this. Hey, Silver Raider, how you doing? I see you out there. This isn't the first time we've heard this. If you remember, we had James Jones on the team, and he used to call Derek Carr Baby A-Rod. So there is some validity to this. This isn't just kind of player speak, kind of pumping everybody up and all that. I really think he feels this way, and I feel that he wanted to come here. I think there was a lot of tension going on with the Packers, with Aaron Rodgers and all that. He just wanted to get out of there anyway, and I think he's in a better place, and it's a win-win for us as well, obviously. Now, as far as the bad goes, not a lot of bad reports. We'll talk about the ugly in a minute, but as far as the bad goes, we got some loose ends, and mainly it's these two guys here, Darren Waller and Denzel Perryman. And what I did was, this is the numbers from Spot Track as far as their cap numbers go, and where they rank as far as their cap figure relative to their position. So Darren Waller is 11th for tight ends, and Denzel Perryman is 21st as far as interior linebackers, inside linebackers. So what I'm thinking is, right now at this moment, we are 21 million under the cap. Remember, we talked about 22 last week, but we had to extend Renfrow. Now the Renfrow extension, the details have not come out as far as anything towards this year's cap. As far as we know right now, everything is 23 and 24, 2023 and 2024. So there is still some room to give him a few million this year anyway. But I was looking at Waller and Perryman and thinking, well, how much would they need this year to put them like in the top 5 at their positions as far as getting paid? Waller would probably need about $4 more million, and Perryman about $8. So combined would be about $12 million. So we have 21 right now. That would leave us about $9 million if we don't give anything on the cap wise to Hunter Renfrow. So it is very doable that we could extend both of these guys. Not sure if we're going to give a full 8 to Denzel Perryman, given his age and his injury history, but he had a heck of a year last year. I think we should try to extend him. Maybe not for the full 8 to give him a total of 11, maybe $6 million. That's up to the front office. I'll let them play that game, but definitely I would love to see both of these guys extended. Now let's talk about the ugly, and that's Josh Jacobs. Now there was an early reports that this guy wasn't even at minicamp. That was wrong. He was there, but he didn't basically suit out. He didn't come out, do the drill. So basically, like I said, no pads, no contact, helmets and shorts. They would go out in the morning because, of course, it's Vegas. It gets hot. They go out in the morning, do their outside drills, their exercises and that, and then they would come in the afternoon, look at film, strategize, and playbook and all that kind of stuff indoors. Josh Jacobs, among others, several others were not participating. I'm going to go through all of them as far as the outdoor exercise type activities. There were some like, Denzel Good, Kenyon Drake, of course. Those two guys had kind of catastrophic injuries last year, took him out for the whole season. Especially Kenyon Drake broke his ankle later on in the season. That would be understandable. He's not necessarily going to be running around on that thing. But Josh Jacobs, he missed OTAs to, quote, an undisclosed injury. Is this a real injury, or is this kind of sour grapes because he was declined that 5th-year extension? I'm kind of leaning towards the latter here. Plus, we drafted Zamir White pretty much to take his place starting in 2023. He knows that. If we wanted him around next year, we would have extended him another year. I don't think he's going to be around for more than a year, but frankly, if he's kind of sandbagging it, I think that kind of shows the kind of mentality he has, and it's kind of reflective of the old regime, the way they picked players. And I don't want to go into all that, but the track record of those guys was not very good. Again, I like this guy. He's very talented, but he gets hurt a lot. I like I said before, I don't feel we can rely on him for a full 17-game season. He has not shown it, and quite frankly, his performance has been on the decline since his rookie season. But I want to know what you guys have to say. This is where I'm going to throw it out to you as far as Q&A. Of course, we always do this. These are my social medias. If you want to go visit them if you're on a different platform, you're welcome to do that. I put a little bit of different content on each one. Let's see. How you guys doing tonight? And I thought I moved this up a little bit higher. One thing I wanted to show, last week we hit our 250th video / live stream. So we've had a lot of content here, and I kind of want to talk a little bit about that real quick before we get into the straight question and answer segment. And that is kind of the future of this channel. As you can see, I'm not hiding any of the sub numbers. A lot of them are kind of flatlining here. I don't really know why. I don't really want to turn this like into a bitch session or anything, but the bottom line is this channel is not progressing the way I thought it would. And frankly, for the amount of effort that, we put into the channel here. So what I'm saying basically is I'm going to keep doing the channel, but we're probably not going to do a whole lot of live streams between now and training camp, which is, according to the NFL, the Raiders, they haven't set the date, but they can start at any time from July 20th on, because we have the Hall of Fame game on August 4th, so they give us a little bit earlier time. So frankly, there's not going to be a whole lot of real content anyway. I'm not going to talk about a backup tight end being signed and act like it's the greatest thing in the world. I'm not like that, to be honest with you. And frankly, I'm only going to get 10 or 20 views on that kind of stuff anyway. So I've got other things I can do, which is fine. This is why I'm saying it now, because the people that are in here now are my diehards, and I appreciate you. You guys come in here usually week in and week out, and I appreciate that. That's why I'm saying it now later on in the program, because the other people aren't here. So I will be here for the season. I will be putting out normal content probably around training camp and beyond. Of course, we're going to do our schedule 2.0 right before the season starts if we want to make any changes to our win-loss prediction records. I know that's a lot of fun. So, and then of course during the season we'll do some videos, but right now I have a couple projects online that I'm working on, I think, that are showing a lot more promise than this channel, quite frankly. I do love the Raiders. I love making the content, but it's just for whatever reason, and I've kind of made adjustments, whether it's YouTube shadow banning me, or it doesn't really matter, or if, frankly, the people that watch Raider videos don't like my cup of tea or the way I do it and they like others, that's fine. Bottom line is I have a couple other projects that are kind of gaining a lot more momentum. I'd rather divert more of my energy and resources towards those because I think there's a bigger potential there. Again, I will not be like closing the channel outright, but there will be less content, especially from now until mid to late July. So I'm going to open that up to you. I'm done talking about that nonsense. I want to hear what you guys have to say about MiniCamp, about what I said, about re-signing or extending Waller. We already have him signed. Same thing with Denzel Perryman, if you want him or not. Again, I think with Perryman, remember, he's had a lot of injuries, even back with the Chargers days. And that was one of the reasons why we got that guy on the cheap at Carolina, because he had that hip injury. And I mean, it was kind of a gamble, and it really paid off. I think we gave up a 6, and we got him in a 7th back. So we moved down 1 round and got a guy I believe was in top 5 in tackles last year. So that was a great move for us in general. But can we rely on him for a full season, given his injury concerns? I believe he'll be turning 30 this year, I believe during the season in December. So a lot of hits. He's kind of getting to that point. Plus, he's already had the injury history. Do we want to open the pocketbook? I'm thinking if we could give him $4 or $5 million more. I don't want to give him a full $8 million and put him there, maybe in the top 10. I think that would be a logical risk for us. If he's not down with that, we'll just have him for this year. Then if I was the general manager, we'd just have him for this year, and he would go off in free agency the next year. Let's see. Dominique says, I would not extend Perryman. He's a 2-down linebacker, injury prone. He's only had success in the Bradley scheme. Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. He played with Gus Bradley with the Chargers. Went over to Carolina. Sandy B says, I'm on the fence about Perryman. Yeah, like I said, I don't want to, like I said, it would be about $11 million to put him in the top 5. If we're talking negotiations, I don't want to give him an extra $8 million. I would rather give him half of that and then try to go get an Ndamukong Suh. Again, this also kind of talks, and I said this before, this is almost kind of talks to how they feel about Alex Leatherwood at right tackle. We haven't gone after Darrell Williams, at least any sign of it, to be honest with you. I've heard rumors about Suh. I haven't heard rumors about this guy, and he's getting the predominant amount of snaps. Again, this is early. I get it, but it looks like they want to kind of see where he stands. This is what I said last year. Let him take his lumps at right tackle. That's where we drafted him at. Instead of putting Brandon Parker there and getting destroyed, why not put the rookie there with some potential of growth? The old regime didn't do it. Stupidity, to be honest with you. And this, to me, this shows the new regime a lot more smarter, and maybe Leatherwood will work out. Remember, Colton Miller didn't look that good his rookie year. Let's face it. And he has come up he's a top 5 left tackle in this league. So I think there's still hope for Leatherwood. And if that's the case, then we can spend the money more on defense, that money we have left. Red Wolf says, me too. I think we need to see what's going to happen, how he will do this season, and then make a decision. Yeah. You're talking about Perryman. I kind of feel that way about Darren Waller, to be honest with you. We have him for 2 more years under contract. We don't really have to do anything with him. It would be nice. Like I said, he's 11th as far as tight ends are concerned. If you look, the Patriots have the top 2 tight ends as far as cap numbers. It's almost $29 million. Unbelievable. I don't know what's going on there. Nobody's talking about that because it's Bill Belichick and he won all the Super Bowls, so he can do whatever he wants and he gets a pass. But I think it's kind of crazy to spend $29 million on 2 tight ends, but I would never do that. I don't mind giving him the extra money. This kind of goes back to, was he kind of gold bricking it at the end of the last year? You know, I know he got that leg bent, I forgot what it was called. It's not the knee ligament, it's down the leg. It's some weird thing. Supposedly that's what happened. We watched the Cowboys game and it did kind of look bad on Thanksgiving. That said, I don't know if it sidelined him that long. It looked like if we weren't in it for the playoffs, I don't think he would have played the Charger game or the Cincinnati game, to be honest with you. So that kind of takes into account, well, do we really want to extend and give more money to a guy like that, even though he's talented? Is he going to walk off the field? Is he going to pull a Moss? Leave early on halftime? Is he going to pull an Antonio Brown and take his shirt off and run off the field? I mean, I don't think it's going to be that extreme, but I wouldn't mind giving him maybe a couple million more and then maybe an incentive-laden kind of contract. If what they're saying that, there's a lot of talk that, well, McDaniels was with the Patriots, so he's going to want to use him like Gronkowski, so he's going to get a ton of balls. And okay, well then let's give you an incentive-laden contract. An incentive-laden contract. Whew. Say that 10 times. Raider Wolf says, we only have Waller for 2 more years. He needs an extension. Technically, he doesn't. I mean, we could extend him next year. I remember last year people were saying, we need to extend Carr. It's like, no, we don't need to extend Carr. He's on there for 2 more years. We need to extend him this offseason with 1 year left. I think to make him a little happier, throw a little bit more money, maybe give him 2 or 3 more million, and then put the rest in incentives. That's the way I would do it. And extend him out an extra year. I think that would kind of make sense to me. Let me see what TikTok's saying. A lot of people bouncing in and out. I appreciate that. A lot of shares, a lot of likes, 1,800 likes. And if you are enjoying this, hit that like button on both platforms. It does help with the algorithm. It helps to show. Let me see. We got 10 likes on here in YouTube. Of course, I know it's a little different than TikTok. TikTok, a lot more people kind of bouncing in and out. Like Sandy B says, hit the like button, subscribe if you do enjoy the content, and then hit the bell notification. I know it's kind of crazy. You got to hit the bell notification, especially with YouTube. And then if you're watching on something like this, you got to go to your notifications and turn it on for YouTube. That way, whenever I set up the next live stream, you'll be notified. Poof, it'll pop right up. So you won't miss anything. Red Wolf says, yeah, but Waller has performed leaps and bounds above his pay grade. Oh, I agree. I think I would rather give the money to Waller than Denzel Perryman at this point. He's younger, little less injury concerns, in my opinion. I'd like to have both, but I'm not sure if we can get both, to be honest. Are we going to go after Sue? That would be very interesting. Are we going to go after Sue? We're probably going to have to pay him Sue 8 or 9 million, on a rental deal. So that's going to kind of burn away a lot of our cap. And again, I don't know how much Hunter Renfrow is going to get extra this year. Those terms have not been panned out. Now remember, Derek Carr got like 3 or 4 extra million this year, but it's a lot more friendly in the cap the next 3 years. So let's see. Raiders 8183. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, a lot of people kind of pop in with TikTok. A lot of people kind of pop in and out. I appreciate it. There's a lot of likes going. I got over 2,000 likes now. I'll try to do some more shorts. It's kind of more for doing kind of shorter type videos and things like that on TikTok. YouTube's kind of more the format for this type of channel. So let's see. Got to watch the money going out, Sandy B. Again, right now we have 21 million. We talked about last week. We had 22 million. Take $1 million off for Zamir White signing. So we do have the room to extend both of these guys, and I'd like to see how they work it out. They're very smart. I think we could extend both of these guys, give them a little bit of a bump up at least this year, and still go after a guy like Ndamukong Suh. Again, I'm honestly more intrigued that we haven't even went out and got like a Bobby Massey, a Mike Remmers, kind of like an older average type right tackle. We haven't done any of that yet. So every day that we don't do that kind of tells me that they have more and more confidence in Alex Leatherwood, to be honest with you. Let's see. I'm just looking right here. Thank you. I appreciate that. Lucas, you're sending some likes as well. Like I said, if you enjoy this, give us some likes. I got another like on YouTube. I appreciate that also. Let's see. All right. So anything else you guys want to talk about? Again, the next as far as milestones before the season starts would be at least July 20th or after. We don't have a set date for training camp. I'm assuming they'll probably want to start it on the 20th as early as possible. And, training camp's about 2 weeks. And we usually kind of get into pads and contact after the first week. So something to let you know about. So that'll happen right about the end of July. And then we have the Hall of Fame game on the 4th. On the 4th against the Jags in Canton, Ohio, of course. And then we have 3 preseason games. And then the regular season game on September 11th against the Chargers in SoFi Stadium. Not a primetime game. It's a Sunday afternoon game. Let's see. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think about Perryman? I know a couple of you talked about Perryman. I know a lot of you want Waller. Waller's good. I'm hoping that he did get a new agent, so that kind of tells me he wants to kind of renegotiate things, obviously. Otherwise, why would he turn and do that? So it would kind of make sense to renegotiate with him, maybe extend him another year, give him $2 to $4 million. Again, I'm interested to see how Josh McDaniels uses him, and also Foster Moreau. Now, remember, the Patriots like to use 2 tight ends. Are they going to be doing that as well? So, let's see. Are you happy about Davante Adams? Yeah, I'm very happy about Davante Adams. Lucas Main asks in TikTok. I said that before. I talked about it. I think this was an A signing. I knew he was going to be about 27 to 30 million. I figured we would get I was thinking initially about 30 million, but then maybe 10% less because there's no state tax in Nevada. So we got him for about 27 million. I know it's a lot, but with what would happen with Ruggs, we didn't really have a true wide receiver 1. Now we got him. We've got Waller. We've got Renfrow extended. The real and we bolstered the interior line through the draft and some free agents. We talked about that. The real question on this offense now is right tackle. So all eyes on Alex Leatherwood right now. He's taken the predominant number of snaps on the first team. They have Brandon Parker on second team primarily. They kind of mix up a little bit. He didn't get 100%, but you can tell he's the man there. Andre James is taking the snaps right now for center. It wouldn't surprise me if Dylan Parham beats him out for this job. Parham's taking snaps at center and guard. I think he's better suited at center. He's a little bit smaller. And I think he could be better than Andre James, to be honest with you. Thank you. I appreciate that. More likes coming in. 3,700 likes. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it. It is 6:34 here in California. You can put down where you are and the time. I would appreciate that as well. Again, as you know, I do live streams, talk about things that are relevant, try to let you know what's going on. We already talked about the roster, where it stands, where I think the starters are going to shake out. Things are kind of still on pace for that, to be honest with you. We can also talk about the other wide receiver. If we're going to talk about wide receiver 3, is it going to be Keelan Cole? Is it going to be Demarcus Robinson? I kind of like both guys. I think Robinson, honestly, it's going to be similar. He was a former Chief, of course. He's going to be kind of in a similar role. He's going to be kind of sneaky because you have all these other weapons. I mean, he's never going to get double covered, right? He can't be. And, he's going to sneak and get a few touchdowns this year. I can feel it already. So, and Zamir White, I mean, is this Jacobs thing going to turn out into a formal holdout? Is he really hurt? I'm not so sure about that. I think he's a little miffed about what has happened over the last few months as far as being declined that 5th-year option. And then we drafting running back. I know we drafted 2, one in the 7th round, but Zamir White is obviously the heir apparent in 2023. So what's going to happen? Is Josh Jacobs going to play nice? Is he going to hold out? I don't know. We'll have to see. Another little bit of drama, but compared to last season, this is nothing. Let's see. 8:30. Indiana, 9:34. A lot of Midwest. Oregon, 8:34. Illinois, 8:35. Yeah. So appreciate all of you guys. Like I said, Raider Nation, it's the whole nation. It's actually the whole world, you know. It's unbelievable. This team has a fan base that is like no other. So let's see. Anything else you guys want to talk about? You know, I've talked about a lot here. Like you know, I like to go max about an hour on a live stream. Now, I don't want to waste your guys' time. I present whatever topic we're going to talk about and then kind of bounce what your opinion off of it. If there's anything else you want to talk about it now. I'm open as far as we could talk about anything with the, you know, not only with the Raiders, but the NFL in general. Let's see. Oh, Sandy B says, hit that like button, subscribe, ring that bell notification. Make sure the bell notification is clicked to all so you don't miss any notifications. Double exclamation point. So yeah, absolutely. If you are enjoying this, hit the thumbs up. Absolutely free. Plus it helps the algorithm on these platforms to show it to more people. Again, like I said, we're not really growing the way I thought we would here, unfortunately. So you doing that helps the channel out, and I would appreciate that. Let's see. Dominic says, were you surprised Hunter's extension wasn't more years? I was. No, because remember, it's 2 years past this year, so we actually have him for 3 more years. You don't get a whole lot of big-time extensions like that for that position, to be honest with you. So that didn't really surprise me. Sandy B says, Chicago's old tight end. Yeah. Was it Horsted? That guy was with Chicago for a couple of years. Didn't do a whole lot, to be honest with you. I think he's there for like special teams. It's not a significant kind of signing, to be honest with you. So I think Waller and Moreau are going to be there for at least this season. I wouldn't be surprised if Moreau's gone after this season, but we'll see about that. I do think Waller's going to be kicked a little bit more money. We do have the salary cap, especially if we're not going to go after any more of these big name free agents, and we haven't yet. So that was opened on June 1st. It's the 10th, so we've had a week and a half and really no movement on that. So let's see. Let's go Raiders, says Lucas Maine. Yes, absolutely. Let's go Raiders. Raider Nation. I do appreciate you. Let's see. If you have anything else to say, we can bring it up now. We'll talk about it before we close this one out. Sandy B says used to extend longer. Now they wait because of money. It's not only that, because remember, the money, this is a business. It's the money side of the game, right? And with COVID and all that, the revenues dropped out and the salary cap dropped out. And a lot of teams were kind of in trouble because of that, because, nobody saw COVID coming, kind of wrecked the revenues. Nobody was in the stadiums. They were signing players years in advance in assumption that the salary cap would keep growing and growing, and it wasn't. So I think a lot of teams are a little bit more hesitant of that. And frankly, I like the way we're doing things. We got Chandler Jones. I know some people say he's maybe a little past his prime. I don't think he's too far past his prime. I think we'll get probably at least 2 good years out of him, maybe 3. Devontae Adams, I mean, this guy still has a lot left in the tank. This guy's a stud. He likes Derek Carr. He wanted to come to a new location. And these are very positive vibes. This franchise was a franchise that nobody wanted to go to at one point, 10, 15, 20 years ago. we would have to overpay free agents. We would have to what I call the retirement program for some of these guys, like a Warren Sapp, Maurice Jones-Drew, 1 yard per carry garbage. We'd have to overpay these guys for them to come in. And now it's like this team's winning. It's on the upswing. It's got Vegas. It's got no taxes in Nevada. I mean, plus. So this team is on the upswing, and I think we'll definitely win at least one Super Bowl in the next 3 to 5 years. That's my prediction. And I think with the new regime we have with the general manager, so far so good. About 95% of the things they've done, I've agreed with. Josh McDaniels, people slammed him for his time in Denver. I think he's grown up. He's learned a lot from there. That was like, 10, 15 years ago. I think it's time for him to kind of show he's improved, and I think this is going to be his time right now. Let's see. Raider Wolf says, yes, I think we'll have a Super Bowl very soon, at least one. Let's see. Yes, thanks for popping in, Ajubes. It's kind of hard to read some of these usernames on here, and sometimes you gotta watch, see what they say. You can get in a little trouble, you know what I'm saying? All right, so let's see. Just checking the chats right now. If there's anything else, like I said, I do appreciate you guys coming out here and supporting the channel, especially the diehards, the guys and ladies I see all the time. The Dominiques, the Sandy B's, the Earth Daughters, the Raider Wolves, the Chevys. I see you guys week in and week out, just about every live stream. I know obviously not everybody can catch them all. We got lives and all that, but I do appreciate you guys taking your time to come here, be with us on a live stream. Of course, the new viewers as well. Thank you very much. Sent gifts. Oh, thank you. Let's see. Yeah, they're just kind of flashing, so it's a little hard. Thank you for the gifts. I'm just looking right now on TikTok. You can kind of give little gifts. A hat and mustache. Are you saying I should grow a mustache there, Earth Daughter? Wear a top hat? I do appreciate that. I do appreciate every single one of you who come out here. I enjoy this. I love doing Raider content, seeing what's going on, and kind of trying to figure out what's smoke and what's reality, and kind of give a good idea of where we're going to be this year, And frankly, this is one of the best fan bases in the league, and we deserve some wins. We deserve this time, especially a lot of the old timers. Not a lot of people have seen their last Super Bowl win. I have. I was a kid. I watched it with my dad. Not everybody was that fortunate. A lot of people, a lot of Raider fans, Raider Nation, weren't alive the last time they won the Super Bowl. So this is going to be great for us. It's going to happen. Like I said, next 3 to 5 years, we're going to get at least one Super Bowl. So I do appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. Thank you, Diane, for the gifts as well. I see a hat and mustache. I don't know what that means. It's this whole TikTok thing. It's kind of funny. You can give little gifts and stuff, and it's fun. But I do appreciate that, guys. Thank you guys for coming out. Again, I'm not sure when my next live stream will be. If we have some big move like a Ndamukong Suh signing or something big happens, I'll definitely get on, at least do a video, something on it. But otherwise, again, I'm probably going to take a slight hiatus. There won't be quite as much content on this channel. I already talked about that. I don't want to get into that anymore. But yeah, we're still going to do videos. We're going to be on here for the 2022 season and beyond. Thank you for both of you. I see a lot of people, both sides, 6,200 likes in TikTok. Unbelievable. Thank you very much. Again, hit the like button, subscribe, follow on TikTok. I do appreciate that. Thank you very much. And as always, go Raiders.
Ask you something. With all the distractions that you have off the field, how are you able to keep focused on winning football games as you do and do throughout the years?
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.